What's up, guys? We got a good one for you today. We got Edward Stupa, aka the Lawn Father.
What's up?
Yep.
Welcome to the Addicted to Success podcast, where we talk about success in all forms: small business, motivation, personal development, inspiration, and overcoming obstacles and adversity like a fucking pro.
All right, man. Just arrived in Georgia, just seen the old Lawn Father, and now, man, tell us a little bit about what you got going on. How'd you get into the industry? What are some things you got going on? How'd you get into lawn care?
I got on lawn care and everything because I did kind of like a career change. Probably about 6 years ago, I was a chef and everything, and I just came home one day and just told my wife I'm just tired of cooking and I need a career change. And she says, you can cut the yard, and you could prune bushes, you can do lawn care. So that's how that worked.
So you had no actual formal training in lawn care?
No.
Before you just kind of started. What was the process? Because with me, it was fairly simple because I worked 10, 12, 13 years for other professional companies. So when I transitioned over into my lawn care business, it was a lot easier because I had the skill, but I just had to learn about the business. I couldn't imagine having to learn the skill and the business at the same time. So what can you tell me about that?
I learned the skill and everything. I did work for a gentleman that was starting out his lawn service and everything. And I was like his helper off of Craigslist back then. And then from there, I worked at Yard Busters here in my local area. That was my very first job. And then from there, I worked for Outdoor Effects and worked there for about 5 years. So I got a lot of experience and everything.
So you did get some experience.
I did get some experience later on and everything. And then I had Lawn Father as a side hustle.
Now, was it hard getting started, going from that transition? Oh my God, I know one of the biggest things when I got started, I financed my mower and I borrowed a trailer and bought a truck. And one of the things, I remember looking in the rearview mirror of my truck and saying, how the hell am I going to get people to call me for lawn? I don't know people that can afford lawn care. What was it like when you first realized, hey, I've got to find customers?
It really happened when I went solo and everything, and I left my current job at Outdoor Effects. And so once I did that and came home, that kind of was a shock of how am I going to find, how I'm going to make a paycheck, how I'm going to pay for everything. So
how are you right now, what are you using to make the phone ring?
Right now, I'm using a lot of social media. I'm using somewhat of a TikTok. Nextdoor app is pretty big. Facebook is pretty big. My Instagram page, and just being around the local area. A lot of people know me. They see where I'm at, where I'm located at, and what the logo is on the truck and everything. That means a lot. And that's where I get a lot of my business.
Okay, are you pushing people for your reviews? You got a bunch of reviews and stuff like that?
I got a bunch of reviews, a bunch of good, you're going to have good and bad views on Facebook and everything, and reviews, and the hit or miss, and just go from there and just keep on, putting yourself out there and making yourself available, visible. That's a big thing. And just make sure that you're, doing a good job, a quality job.
Yeah, I've had several people on social media say that you have to think of your business as a media business that also does lawn care. And if you're not thinking like that and not putting it out there and letting your customers see what type of work you're doing, what the way I like to explain it to people is, say if you've never hired a contractor before, you never hired a landscaper, lawn care guy, you're kind of nervous. Maybe your husband or wife is saying, I don't know, we want to spend the money. You don't want to make the big mistake and cause a fight at the house. So what the social proofing on the internet does is it shows people that, hey, this is what we do. This is what you can expect. This is, our ratings. This is, we're out here. We're doing good work. We're here. We're a guarantee in the market. And when you can position yourself guaranteed in the market, you can charge more for that.
Yes, you can.
So what's some of the hardest thing? What was one of the hardest things you've been through as a business owner? I'm talking about the make it or break it, the thing that almost made you say, you know what, I'm fixing to get a job. What was something along that? What was one of your hardest obstacles that you've had to come over?
The hardest obstacles I get that I've overcome is when you have clients just complain nonstop and everything, and then they sit there and they go with somebody else, and then you sit there and you look at yourself saying, is it me, or is it I'm not doing something right? Or you just move on. And a lot of times I just move on to bigger and greater things. So that's a lot of time. A lot of times I sit there and just think about it. Am I going to go forward or move forward with this and everything? It's always challenging to do that. So I accept these kind of challenges, and then I just keep on going to the next step of how do I make myself better next year versus this year.
Yeah. Well, what I found when it comes to dealing with bad customers and stuff like that, you have to constantly be adjusting your customer list. Your customer list is always going to change, and
Always.
I like to dissolve from the bottom and get the cream off the top. So, and it was a major turning point in my business when I realized that I'm not cut out to work for everybody, just like everybody's not cut out for me to work for them. You know what I mean? And I try to find before I actually start, when I see red flags or something like that, I'm like, I don't want to work with them. Or if it's like the first couple months and it's hard for me to get my money, we probably need to go ahead and cut ties right now. Just learning those simple ways and figuring out your client list, because you don't want to work with everybody. Because if you got people calling you every single solitary day, oh, you missed one blade of black grass, you did all this other stuff, great job. I find myself trying to make the perfect client list, and that's very helpful. And it's hard.
It's very hard
to fire a customer. I've never had it go. I've been fired and taken it very well.
It's hard to fire a customer.
Every time I've fired a customer.
When I fire a customer and everything, it's just like they say, "Oh, I'm a single mom, and what about this?" And
I've had them get nasty with me. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, they get nasty to me too. Oh yeah, they get nasty to me. And if they get real nasty, then I just sorry.
Yeah.
But you got to be, when they get real nasty with you, you got to be professional, no matter what. Even if they call you every name in the book, you have to sit there and keep your professionalism 120%. You can't sit there and let that down. You can't.
You're right, because they can come.
Because that's an image. Because
they don't have Google reviews.
That's right. That's what we go off of.
That's the hardest thing, the most unfair thing to do with being a business owner versus fighting with a client.
That's right.
We've got to keep that standard, because we can get Google reviewed, Facebook reviewed, we can get blasted on the internet, and most people aren't going to believe the contractor. They're going to believe the homeowner.
That's right. 100%.
That's something you definitely want to deal with.
And it's a domino effect. One is going to believe the other, and the other is going to, oh yeah, I used him last year and I used him 2 years ago. So it's going to be a domino effect that's going to happen with all these, past clients and everything that you used.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you have a lot of your beginner clients that you first started out with, or have you kind of weeded out to them and made a new client base?
Majority of my clients right now, I've been with for about 3 or 4 years since I actually went solo and everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of these clients, I have other landscapers sit there and they say, hey, I'm not servicing that area. And they sit there and say, hey, you want this client? I'm like, sure, just give me the address and everything. And then I go over there and I do a great job. And they've been my clients for like 4 years.
So you've networked with some other lawn guys.
Correct.
I don't look at other lawn guys as competition.
I don't either.
We all help each other out. And I've turned guys onto so much work that I just didn't either have time to do. I didn't even want to do. I like finding certain services that I can provide and then just do them over and over and over. Now, it may be boring as far as watching videos, but it's the same thing. I find a service that's profitable. I find something that my guys are trained up on, and we just do it over and over and over, and it just makes it so much easier. I used to just be like, oh, we do everything under the sun. And that got me, well, we'd be doing drainage one day, we'd be cutting grass one day, we'd be doing this, that, and other thing the other day. And it just got to where my guys were, every day it was like I was having to teach them on the jobs. But when I slowed it down, I went to 10 major services that I provided and then just hammered down on those 10. Became way more profitable. And then I also started standing out and being known for the guy that does bed works, because in the lawn care industry, a lot of times guys just want to cut their yards and don't want to do flower bed work. I make more money in flower beds than I ever do cutting grass, for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of cut, blow, and go guys. A lot. There's a lot of them.
So what's the plan to finish out this year? What What you got going on for the rest of the year? You got some big projects coming up? Just kind of winging it? Or?
Right now, just just going with the season and everything. Leaf season's coming up, so that's going to be messy and everything, as we all know, in the South. And just do some landscaping, and when everything kind of slows down a little bit more and everything, just a lot of my clients are year-round clients and on a contract, so I just sit there and visit the properties and do certain things and do winter pruning and everything, and go from there.
That's awesome. This off season, I'm actually excited. I'm going to be building on that apprenticeship job that I'm doing to get my landscaping license. We're building a $19 million water park, and
That's awesome.
The landscape and irrigation, all that's going to be over $1 million. It's going to have $90,000 worth of pine trees.
Wow.
So that'll be the last big project that I complete before I get my landscaping license and then go back 100%. I went to Miami with Aiden and shot a lot of content. He's my web designer and everything. So we're about to get our website and everything, start working on the SEO, not turn the website on, but go ahead and start making it. So basically one day, no one's ever going to see my website. We're going to be doing all the copywriting. And then when we go full time and I'm out there and done with my apprenticeship, we'll show up, in the top 3 in
That's
Google.
cool. That's going to be good.
It's going to be kind of expensive. It's going to be, a lot of planning and stuff. But
Everything's
that's
expensive.
That's the way we plan on coming out. I tell people all the time, I have 5 years experience, but I had to kind of get knocked back to a weekend warrior. So when I get back in, February, March area, I'm going to start swinging for the fence. It's going to do a lot of big things, completely rebrand a new business, and walk everybody through the process of how to do that. Because I have so many questions. People ask me, how do you get an LLC? How do you do this? How do you do that?
I get the same questions on TikTok all the time.
We're actually building a blue collar blueprint for success to walk people through for all service businesses, but that's on down the line. But all right, man, is there anything else you want to say to the people before we get going?
No.
All right. See y'all later.